All right, so get this. You guys sent in a ton of stuff about this gun that folds in half.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, articles, videos, Reddit is blowing up about this thing.
Uh-huh.
It's called the Magpul FDP, the Folding Defensive Platform. Have you heard of this?
Yeah, I've definitely seen it making the rounds.
Okay, cool. Well,
Yeah, lots of buzz.
so for those who haven't seen this thing, it's a 9mm, comes as a carbine, the FDPC, or a pistol, the FDPP.
Mm-hmm.
And get this, it folds literally in half into like a really small package, like the size of a laptop battery.
Wow.
Forget bulky holsters. This thing just disappears in a bag. It's crazy.
Yeah, the concealability is a huge selling point, for sure. But the stuff you sent me also talks about how well it performs, how well it actually shoots.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's where the real debate starts.
Exactly.
But yeah, we've got info from Magpul and ZEV Technologies, the companies that make it,
Okay.
plus articles from Recoil and Guns.com, folks who've actually shot pre-production models.
Nice.
Oh, and of course, can't forget the wild world of Reddit and YouTube.
Of course, gotta see what the internet thinks.
Always.
Yeah.
So that's our mission today. What are the specs? What are the pros and cons? Does it live up to all this hype?
Sounds good. Let's dive in.
So first things first, this idea of a folding gun isn't totally new.
Right.
Magpul, the company behind this, actually showed off a concept, the FMG9, way back in 2008.
Yeah, and if you want to go even further back,
Oh, yeah.
there were folding guns in the 70s and 80s, models like the UC9 and the Ariels FMG. Some even popped up in movies like RoboCop 2.
I kind of remember those, vaguely.
Yeah.
So why is this concept coming back now? What's changed?
Well, a few things. Back then, it was kind of a novelty. The technology wasn't quite there,
Right.
and maybe the need wasn't as strong.
Uh-huh.
Now, though, materials and design have gotten way better. Plus, there's a lot more demand for concealed carry firearms these days.
I see. So the timing's right.
Yeah, exactly.
And this time around, Magpul partnered up with ZEV Technologies to actually build this thing.
Smart move.
Yeah, ZEV, they're the folks known for like their high-end work on block-style pistols, especially their OZ9 modular pistol. One Reddit user even said they'd been waiting like 15 years for this thing to become a reality.
Wow, dedicated.
I know, right?
Yeah, so Magpul designed the folding chassis, and ZEV brought their block expertise to the table. Really a good match.
So how does it actually work, like mechanically?
Well, ZEV modified their existing OZ9 receiver to make it work with Magpul's design. So they had to like trim it down, take off the dust cover, even swapped the trigger safety for a manual one because of how the trigger folds.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's clever engineering.
So let's get into the specs then.
Okay.
So from what I've gathered, it's 9mm, takes block mags, and folds down to a ridiculously small 10.75 inches.
Wow, that's tiny.
I know, right? Unfolded, it's 20.1 inches for the carbine, a little bit longer for the pistol because of the sling attachment,
Uh-huh.
and it only weighs 3.25 pounds.
Yeah, and don't forget the ambidextrous charging handle, manual safety, removable carry handle. You can even get a threaded barrel if you want to use a suppressor.
Oh, all the cool stuff.
Yeah.
But what's really got me geeking out is like the folding mechanism itself.
It's pretty slit.
Yeah, from the videos you sent me, it looks like you press the front of the charging handle, the whole thing unlocks.
Mm-hmm.
Gravity does most of the work. The stock just falls into place.
Yeah, it's super fast to deploy.
It even has a folding trigger shoe
Oh, yeah.
and a collapsing grip stop near the muzzles like a transformer or something.
Folding it back up is a little trickier,
Okay.
but still pretty manageable.
Okay, well, that's good. So you mentioned some early testing, right?
Yeah.
Were there any hiccups along the way?
Well, in some of the early tests, the slide would sometimes hit the chassis.
Oh, so like malfunctioning.
Yeah, potentially, but ZD says they've been working on it and making adjustments.
Okay, good, good.
Yeah, so the production model should be good to go.
Hopefully. So how well does it actually shoot?
Both Recoil and Guns.com, they seemed pretty impressed.
Really?
Yeah, the reports say it's accurate, easy to control, especially the carbine with the longer barrel and stock.
Makes sense.
Yeah, one tester even managed to hit targets out to 200 yards. Pretty good for a 9mm.
200 yards. Wow.
Yeah.
But let's be real. This isn't your everyday carry gun.
Right.
It's a niche piece. It's got a price tag to match like $16.99.
Yeah, definitely not for everyone.
But the Guns.com article had a really good point. They said this changes the game for discrete carry.
Oh, how so?
Like, you don't need a bag that screens gun anymore. It totally redefines what's possible.
Interesting, so it's not just about how it shoots.
No, it's the whole concept.
Yeah.
So who is this ideal for then? Let's break it down.
Okay, sure.
So home defense.
Yeah, the FDP, especially the carbine, it's great for maneuverability in tight spaces.
I can see that.
Yeah, quick deployment too, if there's an emergency.
Makes sense. What about concealed carry on the go?
Well, the pistol's better for that, but you got to think carefully about holsters. It's a unique shape.
True. That's a good point.
Yeah.
And then there's professional use. Like, I could see this being appealing to security personnel,
Mm-hmm.
or anyone working undercover,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
where deep concealment is really crucial.
Exactly. Going from a harmless-looking object to a functional firearm instantly.
That's pretty powerful.
Could be a lifesaver in some situations.
No doubt, and we can't ignore the cool factor either.
Right, of course.
The recoil article even said sometimes you just want a badass gun.
Yeah, I get that.
And the FTP definitely fits that bill.
Absolutely. It's unique. It's innovative.
Like owning a piece of the future.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So is it just a novelty then, or will this thing actually have a lasting impact on the firearm world?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
It depends, do people adopt it? Does the aftermarket support develop? And is it reliable in the long run?
Right, good point.
Because, malfunctions, difficult maintenance, that could really kill it.
Yeah, doom it to obscurity.
But if it proves itself, if it's dependable and adaptable,
Then it has a real shot.
yeah, that's where the Magpul and ZEV partnership is key. ZEV's known for quality. Magpul's a design powerhouse.
That's true. So we've got the history, the specs, the performance, even the psychology behind this thing.
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk about some of the standout features, like that ambidextrous charging handle. That really caught my attention.
Yeah, it's not that common.
No, especially on guns designed for concealment.
Right.
It's a smart move, though.
Definitely. I mean, think about who might use the FDP. Ambidextrous controls just make it easier for more people to use.
It just makes sense.
Exactly. Plus, you can operate it with either hand.
Which is crucial, especially in a tense situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, tactically speaking, being able to handle the gun with either hand could be a real game changer.
For sure.
And then there's the manual safety.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, ZEV had to add that because of the folding trigger.
Right.
Speaking of, that folding trigger is crazy.
It's wild, right?
Yeah, like there's two parts. The shoe folds forward when the gun is stowed. They really thought of everything.
And the collapsing grip stop, too.
Oh, yeah, near the muzzle.
Yeah, small detail, but it really helps.
It's about those little touches.
Exactly. And the grip unfolds really smoothly, too.
Yeah, I saw that in the videos.
It's on a pivot, snaps right into place.
So they kept the standard block mag release.
Yep, familiar for Glock users.
Smart move.
Yeah, and it takes advantage of the wide availability of Glock mags.
No need to reinvent the wheel.
Exactly.
Plus, you can use extended mags if you want.
That's right, and Magpul even includes two of their own PMag 17 GL9 magazines with the FDP.
Nice.
Yeah.
The Guns.com article mentioned using a 33-round extended mag during testing.
Oh, wow.
And they put like 16,000 rounds through it.
Seriously.
Yeah, they weren't messing around.
That's good. They really pushed it to its limits.
Yeah, they did rain, night shooting, even drills in what they called a boneyard.
Intense.
And of course, the suppressor compatibility.
Oh, yeah, I can't forget that.
Threaded barrel option opens up a whole world of possibilities.
For sure, especially for those who want to be discreet.
Like something out of James Bond, a folding suppressed firearm, next level covert stuff.
I like it.
So we've covered a lot, the origins, features, performance, even the psychology behind this futuristic firearm.
It's a lot to take in.
It is, but here's the big question. Would you actually carry a folding firearm?
That's a good question. What do you think?
Honestly, I'm not sure. It's a lot to consider. What about you?
I think it really depends on the person, their needs, their preferences, their circumstances.
Yeah, there's no one right answer.
Exactly.
But what's so cool about this thing is that it challenges how we think about firearms.
Yeah, it does.
It's a conversation starter. It's cutting-edge technology.
It shows that innovation in the firearm industry is still alive and well.
I love that.
Yeah.
So one thing that really struck me while reading all this stuff was the passion behind the project.
Oh, yeah.
From the engineers at ZEV and Magpul to the writers at recoilandguns.com, it's clear they're not just building and reviewing a gun, they're creating something truly unique.
Yeah, you can feel that excitement, right?
Totally. It's in the videos, the articles, even on Reddit.
It's contagious.
And then there's the price tag. $16.99 is a lot.
Yeah, especially for something so niche.
So is it worth it?
That's a tough one. Value is subjective, right?
True.
But if you consider the unique features, the performance, how concealable it is, it's definitely attractive for some people.
For sure.
Yeah.
So it's not for everyone, but for those looking for something truly innovative and easily concealed, this seems to tick all the boxes.
I think so. It's more than just a firearm, though. It's a
Yeah.
statement. It's about ingenuity, pushing the limits of design, the human fascination with firearms.
It's about challenging the status quo.
Exactly.
So this deep dive into the folding firearm phenomenon has been a wild ride. Before we wrap up, I want to mention a few other details like holsters. That was a hot topic.
Especially for the pistol version.
Yeah, traditional holsters might not work.
Not with that folding mechanism.
Right. And the unique shape.
Yeah, it's tricky.
People online were brainstorming DIY solutions. like modifying existing holsters or making their own.
That's cool. Very resourceful.
I know, it makes you wonder if we'll see a whole new category of holsters.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, specifically for folding firearms.
Like how red dot sights on pistols led to holsters with optics cuts.
Yeah, exactly like what.
One innovation sparking others.
I love it.
Yeah.
But that brings us to, like, the bigger picture, the potential societal impact.
Yeah, it's easy to get lost in the tech specs and coolness.
Yeah,
But we need to think about the broader implications.
for sure. So folding firearms, like the FDP, they raise questions about accessibility, safety, even how firearms are perceived in society.
That's true.
On one hand, being able to conceal a firearm so well, that could be good for personal safety.
Especially for people who feel vulnerable.
Exactly. But on the other hand, some folks worry that this level of concealability, it could make it easier for, people with bad intentions.
Right, to carry undetected.
It's a tough balance.
It is, and it's a conversation we need to have.
Absolutely. This technology is becoming more common. We got to address the potential challenges, make sure it's used responsibly.
Couldn't agree more, and that's where you, our listener, come in.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we've explored the FDP from all angles: history, features, performance, impact on society. Now we want to hear your thoughts.
Okay. I like it. So hit us up.
Yeah, what do you think? Would you ever carry a folding firearm?
What situations would make it ideal?
Any concerns?
Head over to our social media, share your insights, use the hashtag folding firearms future,
Let's keep this conversation going.
because the future of firearms, it's something we all need to think about.
Absolutely. Head over to our social media, use the hashtag folding firearms future. Let's keep this conversation going. It's important.
It really is. The future of firearms is something we all need to be thinking about, for sure.
Absolutely.
So we've talked a lot about the practical side of things with this gun,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to dive into some of the details, the things that make the FDP so intriguing.
Okay. Yeah, like what?
Well, I was reading through some of the online discussions, and people were speculating about future developments for this platform.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, things like different caliber options, maybe even a longer barrel version down the line.
I mean, it makes sense, right?
Totally. They've already got everyone's attention.
Yeah,
Offering more options could really broaden its appeal.
for sure. Tap into different segments of the market.
Exactly. Make it even more versatile.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget the aftermarket potential.
Oh, yeah, the accessories.
Yeah, custom grips, specialized slings, maybe even extended mags designed for the folding design.
Endless possibilities.
It's exciting. It really shows how much innovation is happening in the firearm industry.
Agreed. Sometimes the most groundbreaking ideas are the ones that challenge how we think about things.